I will start with you, Njogu, kindly. What do you think the young generation can do better than the older generation to be better leaders? What's your view?
Wow. What the younger generation can do better than the older generation in matters leadership. Wow. I think first and foremost, whatever young people can do differently, they're already doing. Especially in the Kenyan space. Young people are really engaging in politics.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thanks for the support, manze. God bless you. So today we are doing something different. We're gonna discuss about the voice of the younger generation, the breakthrough power of the young generation. Majorly we will look on youth leadership. So I'm gonna introduce my guest. Today we are having a new guest, namely Njogu. I think mmeona jamaa kwa video zingine. Jeff, anaitwa Jeff. But sawa ni wale wachambuzi. Ukiona tu kwa video zangu ni wale wanajui mambo sana. So acha tu bump kwa hizo maswali. Are you ready?
Yeah, we are ready.
So let's start. I will start with you, Njogu, kindly. What do you think the young generation can do better than the older generation to be better leaders? What's your view?
Wow. What the younger generation can do better than the older generation in matters leadership. Wow. I think first and foremost, whatever young people can do differently, they're already doing. Especially in the Kenyan space. Young people are really engaging in politics. And also in governance spaces. So I think one thing that we can do differently, which we are already beginning to do, but now we can emphasize on it, ni ku gain knowledge. Because right now where Kenya is, we are in a very, I don't want to say bad state, but that's where we are. Ukifikiria stories are debt crisis. The amount of debt that we have as a nation, it can cripple a nation. At sasa ukisikia every 100 shilling that we get 70 is going to repay debt. Only 30 is being used to maybe kupay watu na kama kufanya development if it's even possible. So now when we are able even as young people to now gain knowledge on how we can be able to solve the problems that we have in the society that we are in, unapata it's going to be easier and it's going to be more relevant for us when we get into leadership in politics and governance. So I think I can just give that one for now. We gain more knowledge, we gain more skill if possible, and with that we shall be able to address the issues that are happening in our society. Yeah.
Thank you, Njogu, for your point. It's a very strong point. And what about the age space? As in, age is just a number, as we know. So can young person lead a nation?
Wow, you're swali. I was hoping you would ask that question. Young people, of course, we should. There's a video I did, I think, on TikTok, if I'm not wrong. Nilikuwa nasema, in this nation, statistics are country where we are at in Kenya, and it's not just Kenya, also in most nations in Africa, most developing nations even in the world. Unapatanga population structure, tuko tunasemanga class 6, inakaa hivi ka pyramid. So most people are young people, then watu wazee wanakuja wakireduce. Like now in Kenya, statistics zilifanywa na census, the last time we did census, more than 80% of people were young people. That is 35 years and below, more than 80%. But ukiangalia the kind of now MCs, MPAs, governance and even CSs that we have in Kenya, more than 70% of them are old people. And when I say old, I'm not talking 40 years, I'm talking 50, 60. Sahi we have somebody who's 70 who is a CS. So when you ask now the question on kama age is a number, how we can do it, of course we should. Like if 35 years and below people are not in governance, then who are? Because hao ndio watu wenye wako most kwa population. So yes, they should. It is possible for them to get into such spaces. Hakuna anything yenye inaweza mfanya msea kwa disqualified because of age. As young as 18 and as old as 35 now, according to how Kenya categorize youths, they can be able to get into such spaces. Let them get into such spaces. Yeah, we must actually. This thing we are going to take by the horns.
Thanks, Njogu. So, my friend here, Jeff, are you ready? So, Do you think the young generation can be better leaders than the generations zenye zilikuwa earlier?
Yeah. Okay, so according to my perspective now, I can say that us as youths, we can be much better as long as we gather our skills and the assets about more in governing and mambo na leadership. No, unajua wanaume wasemangi mengi. Wanaume wasemangi mengi. So according to my view now, I think once we gather ourselves, like tunaona kama the last time ile maandamano, how we tulitokelezea tu as ones too. So I think once we gather our assets, we gather all our resources and we merge as one, I think we can be much better than the elder leaders now. But by the way, umeguzia mambo na the youth can be able to, but liliona they can be according to the certain age, like 35 to 70. Can a 20 years person can be able to rule or
as long as mseko 18 an adult, the constitution does not say ati you have to be 24 ndio uko umesoma kidogo. It's as long as you are an 18-year-old, you have an identity card. Hata voters card is not well, but of course now that you can unaingia lazima uko vote. 5 years, 35 years to 70. Ndio
you can be able now
to be in politics and governance.
But
No, wait.
I think
in presidential matter.
Presidential matters. Yeah, but now you see in the other seats, it's not because I've read what qualifications are when you talk about MPs, and whatever's MCAs and every other aspect of governance. Yeah.
Thank you. Ni hayo tu mkubwa.
Asante kwa hizo maoni zenu nyinyi wote wawili. Asa naweza wauliza the definition of leadership in general. What do you think about the definition of the leadership space?
Wow, definition of the leadership space. Me, how I would say it is to put it very simply, especially in matters politics and governance in Kenya and Africa. I'd like to say Kenya and Africa as a whole, because the challenges in tunapita Kenya is also what we are seeing in other African countries, and it's not similar to countries in the West. So I'd say it's leadership, being able to understand the problems that are like happening in a society, knowing how to solve them and being able to solve them. That's how we shall say you are a good leader in the African context and even the Kenyan context. It's not that unajua watu wananipendanga na watu wanachekanga wakiniona. No, it's tunaweza kuwa tunakupenda lakini you're not doing anything. The problems we have in Kenya, you are not contributing any valid conversations to it. Do you know the problems that are happening in Kenya? How can you be able to solve them? Tukiongelea story ya the debt crisis. The other day jana tulikuwa tunasikia wasi staff JKA walikuwa wana strike, wana protest kwa sababu ati the government wants to lease out JKIA, Adani Investment Group in India. You see, that's a problem. But the kind of leaders we have, they don't see it as a problem. And if they do, then as Kenyans, we haven't seen them seeing it as a problem. Sasa, how are you a leader, an MP for example, but you don't even have a say in whether or not we should lease out JKIA? And it's a problem. It's a very big problem. So being able to see problems, know the solutions, and drive these solutions. That's how I would say. That's how I would simply say leadership is.
What about your contest?
My
contest.
My contest. Yeah. Mine. Yeah. According to my view, I can say about leadership is that it depends on how you do things and how you control in matters of mambo na politicals. So I can say about that